Ever pondered about what a T statistic is and how it operates? Well, let's break it down. A T statistic is a type of inferential statistic. It's used to determine if there's a meaningful difference between the means of two groups. This statistical tool forms part of the student's T test, a widely used method in hypothesis testing. The T statistic is all about measuring the size of the difference relative to the variation in your sample data. So in essence, a T statistic measures the size of the difference relative to the variation in your sample data. So, how does a T statistic work? At its core, the T statistic measures the size of the difference relative to the variation in your data. This is calculated by taking the difference between the group means and then dividing this by a standard error. Now, you might be wondering, what's this standard error? Well, it's a measure of the statistical accuracy of an estimate. And it's here where the concept of degrees of freedom comes into play. Degrees of freedom are essentially the values in a study that have the freedom to vary. And then we have the T distribution. Picture a bell-shaped curve that changes shape depending on the size of your sample. As your sample size increases, the T distribution looks more and more like a regular standard bell curve or normal distribution. The T statistic is thus a ratio reflecting the difference between groups compared to the variability within groups. Now, where do you apply a T statistic? Well, it's a useful tool across various research fields, from psychology to medicine, economics, and beyond. It shines when you're dealing with small sample size data, helping you make critical decisions. It's all about inferring population means, allowing you to measure differences with precision. And that's the beauty of the T statistic. It's not just numbers, but a way to make sense of the world around us. So next time you encounter a T statistic, remember, it's all about measuring the difference